Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today what we're going to be doing is I've got a couple of experiments that I want to try with our brand new 5-star bishop. If you've been following the channel, you'll know that we popped open a single featured Grandmaster crystal for bishop, and we got super lucky. Obviously, we defied the 0.4% chance to pull a 5-star featured champion, and we managed to walk away with a 5-star bishop for only 300 units. So that's a pretty good deal. I'll take that. So there's a couple of things that I want to look at surrounding this character, and there's a couple of scenarios that I want to test him. In. He does kind of need a little bit of setup in a way when you kind of go from like fight to fight. His synergies, I think, are going to help that, and we'll explore those in just a minute. But mainly what this is kind of just a disclaimer at the beginning. This is not like a full in-depth review about all of Bishop's abilities. This is mainly me just testing out the character, kind of like for the first time, apart from what we tested out on stream right after we got him. But there's a couple of scenarios where I think Bishop could potentially really shine, and I basically want to just explore those now and kind of see if he actually is good or not. But before we get into that, I want to dive into his abilities a little bit and highlight some of the areas that we're kind of going to be putting the focus of our testing on. So again, we're not going to go into his full list of abilities, but we're just going to highlight a couple of things that we're hopefully going to bring out in our testing in a few minutes. So the big thing surrounding Bishop is that he's able to carry over power that he doesn't use when the fight is over to the next fight. So that is going to help us for sure. So the first thing that we're going to take a look at is something that Bishop has called Prowess, and how he gains Prowess and how he can use that to boost his special attacks. So Bishop gains Prowess by basically parrying attacks. He gains 3 Prowess every time he parries an attack, and he gains more prowess if he parries an attack against a skills champion, and he gains even more prowess if he parries energy attacks or special attacks that are energy based. So he can gain a lot of stacks of prowess if you parry, say for example, like a Cyclops Special 1 or the beam of Cyclops Special 2. He can gain a lot of prowess really quickly. And so what he does is every time you activate a special attack, Bishop will consume all of his stacks of prowess. You don't have a choice in this matter. Anytime you use a special attack, he's going to automatically consume all of his stacks of prowess, and he's going to boost the damage of his special attacks. We can see that right here. He's going to boost the damage of his special attacks by 10% for each stack consumed. So if you consume 15 stacks, you're going to boost the damage of that special attack by 150%. If you consume 30 stacks, 300%, so on and so forth. So that's one of the big things that we're going to keep in mind here. And the 2 special attacks that I'm going to focus on mainly testing today are his special 2 and his special 3. So Bishop does, so for his special 2, he does 50% additional damage on his special 2 if it's activated within the first 12 seconds of a fight. And this is mainly possible because Bishop, like I said earlier, he's able to carry over power that he doesn't use from fight to fight. So if you finish a fight with 2 bars of power and you don't use any special attack, you'll start the next fight with those 2 bars of power, and you can basically just instantly use your special 2, and you're going to do 50% more damage on that attack. And then if we look at his special 3, it deals 30% additional damage against enemies that are either above 85% health or below 15% health. And this is increased to plus 70% damage against enemies that are at full health. So basically, if you start off the fight with 3 bars of power, and as soon as the fight starts, you click that special 3, you're going to do 70% additional damage on your special attack, or on your special 3. So with that in mind, now I want to take a look at his synergies and see how we can maybe boost this damage a little bit. So Bishop has 4 of these synergies called Energy Conduit Level 2. and they all give 8% energy resistance to the respective champions that provide this synergy. But then on Bishop, he starts the fight with 2 stacks of prowess and 8% power. So if you activate all 4 of these synergies, so there's one with Storm, one with Electro, one with Doctor Strange, and then one with either of the 2 Cyclops, you will start the fight, you'll start every fight with 8 stacks of prowess already, and 32, 32% power, which is almost 1 full bar of power. And one of the things that we're going to test is I believe that additional power will stack on power that you brought over from the previous fight. So if you end a fight with just over 2 bars of power, and then you start the next fight, this with all these synergies, if you start the next fight then with those 2 bars left over, and then with all the synergies, an additional 32%, I believe that will boost him right up to 3 bars of power, and then you can just instantly use his special 3. Because I believe there is a punishment for staying at max power for long. So yeah, right here. So there's power overload. So basically, there's 2 ways that Bishop is going to deal damage to himself. So anytime Bishop has more than 30 stacks of prowess, you're going to take 48. In this case, you're going to take damage for every additional stack over 30 every second. So the more stacks you have over 30, the faster you're going to die. And then additionally, if Bishop stays at full power for more than 9 seconds, he overloads and starts to lose health again until that power is spent. So, and then the longer he stays at full power, the faster health is lost. So ideally, you don't want to be staying at full power for very long. So with these synergies, it's super helpful if you can stay around 2 bars of power and then use these synergies to start the next fight to boost you right to that 3rd bar of power, and you can instantly use it and you're not going to take any damage. So again, that's the theory here. I may not have explained Bishop's abilities in the greatest sense, but yeah. So what we're going to try now is we're going to load up Bishop with all of his synergies, and I'm going to take him into some Act 5 fights, and we're going to kind of test out his power carrying over, combining that with his synergies rather, and just kind of seeing how they work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to jump into Act 5, Chapter 1, and the 4th quest, Taunted, here, and this is the quest that has life transfer active. So we have our team with Bishop and all of these synergies that give him the energy conduit level 2. So he's going to start each fight with 8 stacks of prowess and 32% power. And something else that's kind of interesting is those synergies that are lit up with Storm and Cyclops are both perfect block chance synergies, which is really kind of nice because since Bishop can gain prowess by parrying attacks, having that little bit extra perfect block chance is just a nice little added benefit. There's going to be a few extra times where we're going to take no damage off of parries. So that's going to be a nice little added benefit there. So we're going to actually, you know what? Let's go this path with Hawkeye, and I think that's a Netflix Daredevil up above him. Let's just double check. Yeah, we're gonna go this path since we're gonna have the class advantage as well. So that's gonna be kind of nice because a couple of things here. One, obviously we can see that Bishop is not awakened, and Bishop's awakened ability, I believe, is that he gains a certain benefit based off of how many bars of power he starts the fight with. And I don't remember exactly what those benefits are. I think it's like extra damage or things like that. And the other thing to keep in mind is that he's unfortunately only a rank 1 level 25 character. The only reason he's this low is because I just took my 5-star Voodoo up to rank 4, and I am completely out of tier 4 basics and tier 1 alpha catalyst. So this is as high as we could get him, unfortunately for now. But so we're going to notice 2 things right off the start. He's going to start with 8 stacks of prowess and just under rather, a full bar of power. He gained just a little bit more power there because we parried an attack. So you can see that we're gaining 6 stacks of prowess when we parry an attack because Hawkeye is a skill champion. So we gain double prowess when we're fighting a skill champion. So when we activated that special 2, we had 20 stacks of prowess, which is an additional 200% damage. And we activated it within the first 12 seconds of the fight, thanks to his Synergies, which did additional damage as well. So we basically knocked off about 20% of his health from that initial special attack. So we've got another one going here with 24 stacks of prowess. So I believe that only did hit for 6k, but again, we are only a rank 1, level 25 character, so definitely nowhere near as strong as we could be. So we're just going to keep going with this fight, just gonna, try not to die here. So hopefully he can get this special 2 out of us before we die from the Legion. There we go. So we're just gonna throw a full combo and then just get this special 2 off here. So one of the things that I want to try is I want to end this fight with around 2 bars of power or so, because I want to see if the Synergies stack with however much power you ended the last fight with. So I would, so basically anything other than ending this fight at 3 bars of power. That's gonna be good. So one thing that I didn't touch on earlier, because we're not, I'm not really focusing on his special 1 too much, is that you deal additional energy damage when you use your special 1. Okay, so we did not end the fight with 3 bars of power, which is a good thing. And so now we're going to see if going into the next fight, these 2.5 bars of power are going to combo with the Synergies. So if they do, we should start this fight right up to 3 bars of power, and we'll have 8% prowess, or sorry, 8 stacks of prowess. And then if we combo that with his special 3, it's going to deal 70% damage against characters that are at full health. And then if we combo that with the 8 stacks of prowess that we're going to start with, that's an additional 80%, so his special 3 is going to deal an additional 150% damage if we activate it while he's at full health. So yeah, so he did start, and of course I totally screwed that up, guys. I parried and I instinctively went in for the attack, so we still got a little bit of a damage boost there, but it was definitely not the boost we were expecting, unfortunately. So I'm going to we're gonna go into the next fight, and we're gonna try to set that up. We're gonna try to set that up again. So there we go. So we end the fight with just under 3 bars of power. So if we go into the next fight, we're gonna immediately start it with 3 bars of power, thanks to the Synergies. So we just have to, I'm just going to buy a full refill here, and we're just going to use this, and we're just going to go a little bit further here. I'm not sure if we're going to necessarily complete the entire quest, but what do we got over here? I need to remember the nodes. Increased duration of stun isn't too bad, and what do we have over here? We have strike back, so we're definitely not going to mess around with that right now, because we're going to be using specials a lot. So we'll go down here for the additional stun duration, and I can't remember who this fight is because it's been a while since we've been in here. But now Bishop is going to start this fight, like I said, with 3 bars of power, and we can maybe try to get a parry here. There we go. So we had 11 stacks of prowess, which is an additional 110% damage on top of the 70% that we're going to deal right at the start of the fight, because he was at full health. So we took off just about 9% damage there, or 9% of his health, because of we activated that right at the beginning of the fight. So I want to try to see if we can parry. at before, but we went up to 15 stacks of prowess there. So I think we were at 6, and so we can see that we gained 9 stacks of prowess there from parrying that energy-based special attack. There we go. So yeah, we went up to 10 stacks there. There we go. So we're at 16 right now. We're at 19. We're at 29. So this is going to be. This would have been better if we activated it. Maybe not on the special too, but so there we did 11% damage with those 29 stacks of prowess. The downside to so we didn't even land the parry on that. The nice thing about this being the life transfer path is that we can take a little bit of damage with from the specials, or from staying at max power for a little bit, and you know, we can recover with the life transfer. Yeah, we screwed up there. We released the block, and we ate a special one there, unfortunately. But this is actually an interesting thing. So when we died there, we had 3 bars of power. So we're going to. It is the life transfer path, so just 20% revive should be okay. But it looks like even if we die, we're going to start the fight with the power that we left off at, which is kind of nice. Yeah, it is. So yeah, that's really interesting that even if you die, you're going to start off the fight with the power that you left off at. So that's kind of handy to note. And there we just took a 0 on that block there, which is most likely thankful to. We can thank the synergies from Storm and Cyclops there. So again, I want to try to end this fight so that the way we can start the next fight is we start the next fight with basically with 3 bars of power right at the start of the fight. Just get that special off so that we can actually go in. There we go. There we go. Alright, so we're definitely going to start the next fight with 3 bars of power right away, because we ended this fight with 3 bars of power. So we're going to jump down here to the next Cosmic Champion. Bishop, who's going to start again with 3 bars of power and 8 stacks of prowess because of the synergy. So I'm going to try to get a couple more stacks of prowess here. And just try to keep them at full health. We're at 17. There's 20. Activating it now because I don't want to die. So it's going to be 200% from the prowess, and then 70% because he's at full health. So we take it from 100% down to 88% right away. And we went up from almost nothing to full health there because of that life transfer note. So that's kind of handy there. So I believe Black Bolt Special 1 is definitely going to be energy based. So let's try to get a parry on that. There we go. So our crits hit for 3k there. when we took a big kick to the face there. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna dump another revive into Bishop there, but we can see how the way that Bishop carries his power over from fight to fight can definitely be really beneficial with if you combine him with the synergies. So we did have a couple of instances where it was easy to carry over 3 bars of power to the next fight, and we didn't have to stay at 3 bars of power for long enough before we could start taking damage. But we were able to, so if we had, we could basically comfortably end the fight with anywhere from 2 to 3 bars of power, and then if we combined him with just the synergies, we can basically get right up to 3 bars of power right at the beginning, and then we have about 9 seconds of leeway at the start of the fight where we can try to gain a few more stacks of prowess in addition to his synergies, and then make our special 3 do a little bit more damage, and we can keep him at we can keep the opponent at 100% health because we're just parrying, so we're not doing any damage and we're just gaining extra stacks of prowess. So there's one more area that I want to test Bishop, and this is mainly just to kind of have a little bit of fun, since Bishop is kind of heavy into surrounding, you know, like he does a lot of more extra damage on his special attacks. So there's a specific quest that I want to take him into, just to see how he does, and it is going to be Act 5. You guys might already know where I'm going with this. This is Act 5, Chapter 2, the first quest, Weird Science here. So we're going to go in with the exact same team so that all 4 of those level 2 conduit synergies are active. And this is the quest where we have the Power Shield node, where our basic attacks deal no damage, but they still generate power, but our specials are going to deal 400% more damage. So I just kind of want to see how that is going to work with Bishop here. And what we're going to do is we're actually just going to go right over here to A, and we're going to fight this Black Panther, who will have the class advantage against, and starting with 8 stacks of prowess because of our synergies, and then gaining 6 stacks on every parry because he's a skill champion, and then hopefully trying to activate that special 2 within the first 12 seconds of the fight, and seeing, basically seeing if we can kind of just one-shot this Black Panther. So there we go, we're up to 14 stacks there, we're up to 20. Here we go, so there's a kick, and right away we just took him down to 45%. So what I want to try now is, so the part that sucks is that because you need to use your specials here, you can't exactly, it's kind of hard to carry them over, some parts of power, but what we're going to try to do is, so we ended this fight with 1 bar of power, and then with our synergies, we're going to basically start the next fight with 2 bars of power. And so we're going to start this fight against Loki with 2 bars of power. And what I want to try to do is I want to just try to parry and build up as much prowess as we can, because when we build up prowess, we also gain a little bit of power. And so, because the attack is actually not going to do any damage, we can attack, we can gain power, and we can still get up to the special 3 and deal extra damage here. So there's 20 stacks of prowess, and we got 2 early there. But I'm curious to see how much damage this is going to do. So we took him down to 47%, which is very similar to where we took Black Panther down to after that first special attack. So again, this is kind of just to have a little bit of fun with Bishop here. So there we go, parrying that energy attack there off of Loki's special 1. We 9 stacks of prowess. So if we can do it again, we didn't, and we screwed it up. So we got into the 3-bar power range. But there we go. We got up to 30 stacks of prowess, and we hit the 20% here. So we're not going to have the additional 70% damage boost, but the 300% attack from just the prowess and the 400% from the power shield node was enough to take out Loki in 2 special 3s. But now we're going to start this fight against Storm with only a little bit of power that we would have, that we would get from our synergy since we ended with a special 3. But I think, I mean, like, any champion is pretty much good for the power shield node. But Bishop just seems to be kind of a fun character to play with it, since you're going to deal more damage with them being at full health. So there we go. So here's another 70% because he's at full health, 20% additional prowess, and again we took them down to 47%. And let's see that damage take 27k off that one special there. Kind of interesting opportunity to showcase the healing on Bishop. So we can consume his stacks of prowess to heal, and there was 2 ticks that you would have maybe seen there. We just ran into a special one again. But there were 2 ticks that you would have seen there that did 67 healing. So the healing doesn't seem like it's very good with consuming the prowess charges. Basically, you would need 10 stacks of prowess to heal like 670. So the healing doesn't really seem to be worth it too much. But again, this is only on, unfortunately, on a rank 1 level 25 Bishop. I really wish that I had the materials available to me to take this character up a little bit higher. But unfortunately, that is just not the case at the moment. But I kind of just wanted to showcase a little bit of some 5-star Bishop gameplay and how his synergies can work into giving you a little bit more leeway in terms of how you can end your fight with only around 2 bars of power, and you don't have to stay at 3 bars of power for super long if you want to start the next fight with a special 3. And then we got to have a little bit of fun with this power shield node. But I have a feeling that that if you got Bishop up to like rank 3 or something like that, rank 3, rank 4, you could probably come in here with and then, you know, with your synergies, get right up to that special 2 almost right away, and then just take them out in one shot. So so yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching this this kind of lengthy video, just experimenting with Bishop. This was kind of like the first time that I had really actually played Bishop and looked into some of his abilities. So this was all kind of just like fresh gameplay for me. I had no idea how Bishop was going to work with, and how he was going to interact with his synergies. So it was kind of a learning experience for me as well with the character. But I think the character does have the potential to kind of shine in the questing scene, since he can carry over his power from fight to fight, and with his specials doing additional damage, like his special 2 doing additional damage if you use it within the first 12 seconds of the fight, which is really easy to get to, even on the first fight in a quest with just his synergies, and then even if you end the fight with just over 2 bars of power, you can start the next fight and you have your special 2 ready to go, even if you're not using the synergies. But yeah, I think Bishop has the potential to kind of to shine in the questing scene. Again, it would have been a little bit easier to see if Bishop was awakened, because then we'd have his awakened ability and the bonuses there. And I believe some of those bonuses, like I said earlier, I think they give him a little bit of extra damage. And if the character was at a little bit of a higher rank than rank 1 level 25. So again, I apologize that I could not get Bishop any higher than rank 1. Unfortunately, I just don't have the materials on hand at the moment, which is unfortunate. I would have loved to have taken this character up a little bit higher, but all the resources went into Dr. Voodoo a couple of days ago. So yeah, again, I want to thank you guys for watching this video where we just kind of had a little bit of fun with Bishop. It might not have been, the best gameplay, but it's just to kind of showcase a little bit of what Bishop can do, and just maybe some areas where he can potentially shine in the contest. So again, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit that like button if you liked what you saw. Also subscribe down below if you would like to see some more Marvel Contest of Champions content coming soon, and I will catch you guys all in the next video.